Alright, hello everybody, Skyrain here, back again with another Diablo Immortal video. We're gonna go over this as efficiently as possible this time. I've already recorded this and it went on for far too long to my liking, so we're gonna try this again. You didn't see that though, so hey, whatever. Let's go ahead and start with this. I didn't talk about this in that video, so I want to do this so I don't forget. Get the skull out of the way here. This. I don't know if this could be considered a form of compensation for the issues that had affected regions such as Southeast Asia and the like, for like missing a couple days of not being able to play the game because of not being able to log in or getting kicked out all the time. But take that for what you will. People were wondering like, what is this for? What is this for? I was like, did you guys completely forget about the problems that the other regions were having? You guys completely in the dark on some of this stuff? Mind you, this is in a couple discords. They were like, what's this for? It's like, so yeah, that's my take on it anyway. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but it feels like it. And they just did the blanket statement and rolled it out across to everybody with this generic saying, oh, strengthening the realm and sanctuary and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, here we are. So, you know, obviously free stuff is free stuff. Take it. I'm going to right now. I just wanted to leave it on the board in my mailbox all at this point to talk about it and discuss this in the video for that reason. So there you go. I'm gonna leave it there still in case I want to re-record. Anyway, so now there's that. Another thing of confusion that I've seen across multiple discords. I don't know why either. This was in Blizzard and somewhere in their support section. It was also announced, I forget where exactly, but I knew of it ahead of time myself, and I guess some people missed that memo. This is the maintenance that had just happened for most of us, well actually for all of us at this point. This is what happened here and why. As you can see, June 24th, we will be performing necessary data center maintenance. So they basically shut down all of the Blizzard games for their data center maintenance, focused on the net infrastructure in the Americas region. So that's very specific. And unfortunately, I thought, oh, okay, cool, that's going to help out, you know, Southeast Asia and, you know, the Europe server. No, it just says the Americas region. So take that for what you will. I don't know. I'm sorry if it, because so far everything felt actually smoother. So I don't know if there's some kind of clash between NetEase servers and Blizzard's, you know, login servers and such that clash with each other. I'm sure there is. That might cause some issues. But so far today's felt pretty smooth since I logged in after this happened. So take that for what you will. But that's what that one is. This is not, again, not the patch maintenance that we're getting later this week. This is two different things. So clear that out of the way right now. Two different maintenances. There was this one that they had for this reason here. And then we get to the patch notes, which I'm doing a side-by-side comparison so that nothing gets lost in translation. Now, I did this already earlier, like I said, in another recording, which went on for longer than I care to admit. So I'm going to kind of summarize this a bit better this time around. But here we go. There won't be any music because the game is now behind this on my two different monitors. So sorry for that, but... and YouTube copyrights and all that kind of nonsense. I'm not even getting into that ball of wax. So enjoy the silence, or put some music on your end and enjoy whatever music you like listening to while going over this. All right, there you go. See, I'm trying to look out for you. All right, so here we go. This is the maintenance that we're going to get for the patch notes. Obviously, left side is the Blizzard patch notes. The right side is the NetEase Chinese patch notes. There actually wasn't, and surprisingly, I skimmed through it all. There wasn't anything lost in translation between the two sides for freaking once. This is like the rare unicorn. Of course, the one time I really want to go and comb through this stuff side-by-side comparison like this, they actually get it right. Things aren't in quite the same order, but they are the same information on both. So yeah, I thought that was astonishing, actually, at this point. I am astonished by that fact. But yeah, there's the times right here. Of course, this is the global patch notes, which most of people have already seen, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the other videos, but this is my take on it. This will be the maintenance that we usually get for patches, and that's going to be Wednesday night, Thursday morning for the majority of us, of course. So there you go. And then Battle Pass. Like I said, they kind of did things out of order here. They didn't really mention server merges as far as the NetEase notes or the Chinese notes, which I'm surprised. That one did get lost on their end, but I don't know if that really has anything to do with them or not. I mean, it kind of has to, you would think, but there's a server merge. It's not happening until the patch update. So you thought that was going to happen after this Blizzard maintenance. Sorry, no, it's the patch. So we still got to wait until later in the week for that to occur. And let's see. Collection, gallery, feature. I don't know about this one. This is whatever. You see, you now have the ability to preview the entire range of cosmetics available in the new cosmetic gallery, regardless of whether you own them or not. And then the cosmetic gallery will track the ones that you do own, and as well as the collections of other players within your server, which is basically going to show like, oh, look, how many of these phantom markets did these people shell out on and on our server? It's like, oh yeah, they're definitely a whale. Yeah, that kind of thing. It's whatever, I guess. Take it for what you will. Now over here on the NetEase side, we are now into the event lists of things, which is what all this stuff is here, and they do coincide with what is over here in the global patch notes. We're getting back Fractured Plane, which is the best of the best of the best of the events for returning players, new players, and players that grind daily. This is still the best event for getting everything: gear, XP, all the usual stuff that is the most important, combat rating up, that kind of thing. It does help. So that is still my top favorite, as long as you get decent skills while you're in there to run through. Sometimes the skills they give you suck, and the runs go like way longer than other runs. So it all depends. It's still a crapshoot, whichever you get, what gear drops while you're in there to equip, and what combinations of skills you have to work with. So yeah, as long as it's a nice combination, hey, it's good. It's a good time. But other times, not so much. All right, Conqueror, of course, Wild Brawl's coming back, Hungering Moon, and Shady Stock, blah, blah, blah. And we get down to feature updates. This one, let's see. Yeah, this one kind of goes a little bit out of order. I think there was, was the Battleground mentions up here? Did I skip it? No, it is further down. So yeah, they're a little bit out of order and side by side here. Shadow War Management Tool. That was discussed in the Chinese patch notes over here towards the top. Guild War Management Lineup. Okay, let's just go ahead to the global, which is Shadow War Management Tool. This way you can delegate, the officers and leader of clans can now delegate people to and spots for the upcoming clan wars, the clan shadow wars, and that kind of thing. Which is whatever, I guess. The way we've been doing it is fill in as many of the slots as you can to unlock the other rooms, because it goes like Exalted and etc. down the list. I forget exactly what all they're called, but they have one A, B, and C, 2 A, B, and C, that kind of thing across the board. Try to fill in with, like, I think at least 6 people to open up the next room, and so on and so forth down the list. So that way, the rooms can be open, people can start filling. That's the intended strategy anyway, to get the most benefit and make sure that you got full coverage, as long as you have the amount of people to do a full coverage that are active. This one, the Shadow Management Tour, just basically says, oh, hey, you're going to be at war, or Shadow War, right? And like, yeah, sure. And then, some may not be there. It's like, well, whatever. So take that for what you will. It's a little extra whatever. Yeah. So, okay, there's that. All right, now we go down to Battleground rank changes. Okay. This one here is very nice. Considering how frustrating it is to lose your rank in Battlegrounds after fighting for a long time to reach it, changing the way the rank function works after several losses due to mostly matchmaking nonsense. After reaching a major rank within Battlegrounds, will no longer fall from the major rank, but instead stay within that tier. That tier, mind you. So, from my understanding, by reading that, those that are in silver and gold, since, well, not even, bronze, I don't think you lose any points until you get into silver anyway, so that's out of the equation. But in silver and gold, you have tiers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can still fall probably all the way to the bottom if it gets really, really bad for you in silver or gold, but you won't drop out of those if you're that far down. But it's definitely going to be a grind and a claw to get all the way back up and out of there to the next one up. Legendary is a whole nother story altogether, and I'm actually quite happy about this one. Even though the rewards are still subpar, not really worth doing the extra grind and pounding your fist into the pavement for no other reason, because you get maybe, depending on what your rank on the leaderboard is, by the end of the season, you'll get maybe a couple more reforged stones, maybe 1 or 2 more normal gems. It's really insignificant, honestly. The rewards are still lackluster across all content in the game. There needs to be a revamp to the system as far as our rewards that we get across the board in the game, across all aspects of it. There's far too many things that we have to do in the game, far too many things that require X, Y, and Z resources and currencies. It's just a big mess, and I think there needs to be an increase in the amount that we get in everything. Events, especially events are just kind of played out literally at this point, with how they just kind of recycle the same ones over and over again with the same rewards. It's like, no, you I think you need to tweak those just a little bit and raise their values up some more. But anyway, all right, so there's that, and then that's the same thing over here. Oh no, here it is. Holy Battle Song optimization on the NetEase side. This is Battlegrounds. Holy Battle Song, which is funky. It's Google Translate, by the way, which is not surprising. But the Battleground time extension. Now, here's where things get cleared up. This is the big difference, I think, between the two, and the only one that I've really honestly found between the two patch notes. Over here in the global, we got Battlegrounds time extends. Okay, we are extending Battlegrounds availability by 2 hours from 8 to 10 p.m. Local server time, making the overall time to play 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. local server time, giving you even more time to fight. Now, this statement on global notes, it does sound like it falls off after 10 p.m. So it's like, well, what happens to the night owls? You know, what happens to those of us that are night owls by nature and, you know, like the 10 to 12 block, 10 p.m. to midnight block? What happened? Did you just cut that off and merge it in with this one? That kind of sucks. But no, if this might be, I don't want to misconstrue this at all, but if you look over here now at the Chinese patch notes, opening hours adjustment, Holy Battle Song Battlegrounds has a new opening period of 20, which is 8 o'clock to 10, which is from 18, which is 6 p.m. to 24, which is from 1800 to 2400. So this statement here pretty sure means it's from 6 to midnight. So 6 hours straight of Battlegrounds opened up in one huge block at the end, throughout the day, from the evening all the way until everybody goes to sleep, pretty much, for the most part. So there you go. I think this is a big thing that might have got lost in translation, because the wording was poorly done, I think, over here in the global notes, because it sounds like they cut that out and they didn't explain it very well. But over here, this one makes it sound like, which is from 1800 to 2400. So there you go, 6 to midnight, 6 p.m. to midnight. Hopefully. I mean, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's what that means. Shame that it didn't get described more clearly in the global notes. But that's the only one I've seen out of everything else, honestly. That's the only one I've seen. These other ones are not really important. The Inferno set battle bonus changes. This one was interesting. And it's in here too. Where is it? Oh, here it is. They put theirs in bug fixes, which is interesting. Global did not. They put it at the bottom here, right before bug fixes, which is always a joke to read on the global notes anyway in Blizzard. But Inferno set bonus changes. This is weird. We fixed an issue that caused the higher and lower thresholds from set item stats in Inferno 1 and above to be correct. So apparently they've been wrong all this time. So that sucks. This is like, well, okay, we've established what the highest 2-stat for Inferno 1 was, which was like 1854, I think, for a 2-stat in Inferno 1, the combat rating. So now that might change. Or wait, that might actually, hold up. It might not. It says stats. It might not be the combat rating. But, I mean, combat rating is a stat, so that remains to be seen. I don't think the combat rating is going to change, though, to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it. It might just be the stats themselves. Because over here, not that one. This is some Tempest adjustments, of course, which, no surprise. But, here we go. Fixed this one here. Yeah, this is it. This one's a little bit more difficult to read due to Google Translate, of course, but you kind of get the gist of it here. Fix the issue that the lower limit of the additional attribute of the Calamity 1, which is Inferno 1, suit, which is set piece, was higher than the correct value. So the lower limits apparently were higher than the correct value and the low end, which is messed up. And then the upper limit was lower than the correct value. So the high end rolls we got on our set pieces were lower than what they were supposed to be. And the low end stats that we got on the set pieces were higher than they were supposed to be. And those are best case scenarios, you know, like the top of the top rolls and the bottom of the bottom RNG rolls. So either way, it's like, well, you know what? We still most times get like the median average, unless we get like the exceptional ones and so on and so forth. But I guess even those values were off. So, and then it says, note, after this update, which hasn't happened yet, keep that in mind. Still, the additional attributes of the, depending on when you watch this, the additional attributes of the newly dropped set pieces are will be correct. At the same time, the additional attributes of the existing gear, now this one's shown Inferno 2 and 3 for them, will be refreshed to the correct values. So hopefully that means across the board in all the Inferno difficulties, the stats will be fixed for the ones that we currently already have, because that's going to really suck that much more if we have to go and get new ones to fix this. But it does say that they will be the existing ones will be adjusted, but they didn't say Inferno 1 here at the bottom, so that kind of has me a little bit concerned, but I'm not going to hold my breath. So I'm not going to let that bother me too much. All right, so that pretty much covers, I think, the majority here. Oh, the runes. Duh, we didn't get to that yet. Runes got changed. Rune drop changes, which is Devil's Prison, the Hell over here. Devil's Prison gameplay optimization, the Hell and Hell's Fortress, which is the Abyssal Rift and the castle, which is what these two are referring to. Abyssal Verge and the castle. Okay, so they are increasing the drop rates of runes finally, because they've been pretty much non-existent in these new game modes, and that was supposed to be the whole point of them. It hasn't happened yet again. Remember, wait for the patch to go live for this to take effect, because don't waste your time going in there now. It's still going to be the same and not worth it. They did drop a few new runes today. I have not been able to farm them up yet, so I can't show or tell what those are about, but I did hear like might be blues, and they might have more attributes on them. I don't know. That's all I've heard so far. So I'm not going to say any more than that, because I don't have them in-game myself yet, and I will not make assumptions on that. All right, the adjustments made. Oh yeah, here we go. Modes are the most potent source to earn and craft runes. We will continue to monitor these new drops, and feedback continues. So yeah, they increased the drops, they said, in this upcoming patch, but we'll have to wait until it goes live to make our judgment as to how well they did with the increase on the drop rate, because who knows, it could be like a 100th of a point or something stupid, and be like, oh, we increased the drop rates. Oh yeah, you did. Very, very poorly, but you did. Anyway, we're making adjustments to those modes. The boss in the Abyssal Verge will respawn at a lower a further location away from the terror fog that's coming in. Okay, so I didn't really notice that being too much of an issue before, but this way they'll spawn from the furthest point away from it and giving you a bit more time to rack up some more points, because the more points you get while you're in there, the more rewards theoretically that were supposed to drop that didn't seem to. But now, after this update will go live, whenever that is supposed to be the case. So the longer you stay in there, the more points you get, and the Abyssal Verge anyway, the more gear you're theoretically supposed to get at the end of it. So that's the goal of while being in there. Okay, so now for the castle, it's a little bit different. Oh, and then the other thing was, there was another issue. Let's see, they fixed the special effects where the fog inside the Abyssal Verge people wouldn't even see it. That's terrible. That's very terrible. And then another one that's almost as bad was there were no points. No points would be awarded for defeating elites. That's just as bad, honestly, in my opinion, because you're missing out on your loot. And it's like, why am I not racking up more points? And this is why, because they weren't registering, which is screwed up. So hopefully that will be fixed when the patch goes live. Now, for the castle, the distance between the entrance to the castle and your point of escape has been shortened, which is great. We removed the need to confirm your exit with the portal to escape, so now you can just click on the portal and you're out, instead of click on the portal. Are you sure you want to leave? It's like, yes! Unless you want to go for that achievement, which I think you have to leave within the last 3 seconds or something stupid. So there's that too. But all right, the fire attack from the Avatar of Terror has been reduced in damage to avoid killing players as quickly. It was a one-shot deal before, and it had and once you were in line of sight of that down a corridor, you were screwed, because it's like it had insane range and it was just instant death. We've also fixed an issue that caused navigation to the escape point to direct players to an invalid location off the map. Good, because the auto-pathing sucks. So hopefully that is going to be resolved as well when the patch goes live. Still not yet. Let's see. In addition to increasing the rune drop rewards, we have also increased experience, gold, and item drops in both game modes. That will remain to be seen. Okay, so yeah. You want to do, obviously, get, like it says here, higher score. The higher the score, the better. With the castle, it's just basically boost your danger levels up as fast as possible by opening as many chests as possible fast. And that's pretty much how that boiled down. Killing monsters had a slight effect to it, but not really. So speed is key in that one. Just open as many chests as possible to get the big one to open, and then get the hell out. Yeah, there it goes. That goes. That goes. That's pretty much, there we go. That does cover everything this time. And like I said, the only key component between the two patch notes I think that got lost in translation was about the Battlegrounds time change. And I think this one pretty much covers it better than the one they did on the global notes. So there you go. Hopefully that helps clear the air on a lot of things. Get some music back finally in game. But YouTube's terrible for, copyright ordeals, so I didn't even want to bother trying to bring up any kind of copyright-free music. Anyway, there you go. Hopefully that covers it and breaks it down a lot better for you. Until next time, everybody, stay safe out there in the real world, and fire as always. Take care of yourselves best you can, one day at a time is all we can do. I do appreciate each and every one of you that may have held on to the very end of this video. Really do. Till next time, see ya.